The Honda CR-V was launched in India in its second generation, and when it was launched, it was quite a popular SUV. Now, as times evolved and the SUV segment matured, the Honda CR-V faded because it did not have a diesel option, and that is precisely what drove the market in India for the SUV segment. But that was then and this is now. In 2018, we finally have the all-new 5th generation Honda CR-V with us. And most importantly, this comes with a diesel engine. Now, is it good enough to take on the likes of the mighty Toyota Fortuner, the Ford Endeavour and the Isuzu MU-X? Well, that's what we are going to find out on the show today. Now, let's start off with the design, and since this is an all-new platform and an all-new generation CR-V, the design is also all new. Now, the biggest highlight about the design is that unlike the key competitors that the CR-V will be pitching up against, this is not a butch-looking rugged SUV. This is more of a sophisticated SUV. More or less, it's a gentleman's choice. Now, starting off with the front, what you see is a very sharp and angular face wherein you have a thick chrome slat on the grille, which is very typical to most of the modern Honda cars that we have seen. The headlamps again are sharp, the cluster inside is very premium looking, and it's again got LED DRLs as well. Now put all of this and combine it with a long hood, and what you get is a very handsome front stance. Now moving on to the side, what you get is a striking set of alloy wheels. These are 18-inch alloy wheels and they are shorted with 235 by 60 section rubber. Now the rubber suits the alloy wheel size very well, and it fits the wheel arches also quite nicely. And what this does is it gives the side stance a very dynamic look. The overall silhouette again is sleek, and the CR-V, unlike most of its competitors, is not a boxy vehicle. So what you have is a very good interplay of lines and creases which keeps you entertained when you look at the vehicle. At the rear, what you've got are very good looking tail lamps which have got a vertical design. They run right up from the side to the top of the spoiler, and again the tailgate and the rear bumper too matches the overall design, and what you get is an SUV that looks big, it looks premium, but at the same time it's not boxy. It looks sophisticated, it looks sleek, it looks premium, and that is precisely what the CR-V should. Now once you step inside the cabin of the new Honda CR-V, what you're greeted to is absolute premiumness. For its segment, I would not hesitate to say that this has got the most premium looking interiors. Now what you get here is a soft touch dashboard. It feels very premium. You've got these wooden finish again. It breaks the monotony of black, and that does a good job in terms of design. And in the center console, you've got a very nicely integrated touchscreen. It's a color touchscreen, and it comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It comes with navigation, and you've got all other connectivity options like Bluetooth, aux-in, USB, etc. Now moving further down in the center console, you've got this very different looking unit wherein you do not have a gear shift lever. What you have are instead buttons wherein you can just select from the various drive modes, and while you might think it's a little bit odd and you might take some time getting used to, it isn't. It's very easy to use and it's very convenient. Now talking about the storage space, well, what you've got here in the lower center console is a lot of space wherein you have ample place for putting in your smartphone, your wallet, a lot of other stuff. And you also have this very smart tray here which can be pushed backwards, and what it gives is more extra space. Now within this cavity, what you get is 4 connectivity options wherein you've got one HDMI output, and you've got two USB output points. Now the best part about these are that there's one which gives you 1 ampere of power output and the other one gives you 1.5 amperes of power output, which is suitable for charging a smartphone on the go. In addition, you've also got a 12-volt power outlet, so keeping your devices charged on the go is not absolutely a problem in the new Honda CR-V. And if you talk about the seats itself, well, they're very good seats, very comfortable. I've got ample under thigh support, very good shoulder and backrest support. Even the side support is good, so if you're really pushing around the CR-V hard, it will give you a good amount of side support. So if you talk about the front space, it's very nice in terms of driving appeal, in terms of overall feel, and it's exactly what the CR-V should exude. It feels very much premium. So now I'm in the rear seat of the new CR-V, and what I like about this place is it's got a lot of space, and this is what you would expect from an SUV as large as the new CR-V. Now as you can see, I've got the driver seat adjusted to my driving preference. My height for reference is 5 feet 8 inches, and I've got a lot of leg room to spare. There's a lot of space inside here underneath the driver seat, so I can easily slide my feet underneath and I can have a comfortable seating position. Now this is not the best that you can have here, because I also have the option of pushing the seat backwards, and that liberates more leg room. It gives me better angular support for my under thighs, and if I talk about headroom, well, not a problem at all. And overall the seat support, the backrest angle, all of it is quite good. I can even adjust that. I can choose to have a little bit more comfort. So if you're going on long journeys, you can just get into this mode and it's going to be a very comfortable place to be in. Now for those of you who are going to be chauffeur driven in the new CR-V, well, there's some good news. Apart from the rear AC vents, what you have here are two 2.5 ampere USB charging points, and what this means is you can charge your smartphones and your devices on fast charging on the go. Now this is something you do not get in every vehicle, even in this segment. Mostly what you would get is a 0.5 or a 1 ampere output, which takes a lot of time to charge your phone, but that is not the case here. Just plug it in and your phone gets charged quite rapidly. Now adding to the premium touch inside the cabin is the smart looking panoramic sunroof, which gives you a brilliant views of the skies above, and it also gives you a feeling of more space inside the cabin. It just feels a lot more aerial inside with this smart sunroof. Now one of the most important changes in the new Honda CR-V is the addition of the third row of seats. Now please keep in mind, this is a very important addition because most consumers in this price segment want a 7-seat SUV, and this is what the CR-V was missing up till now. Now the CR-V comes with a 7-seat option only if you opt for the diesel engine. If you opt for a petrol one, you will still get a 5-seat option. So let's find out if the third row of seat in the new Honda CR-V is useful or pretty much a formality and useless. So if you're athletic enough, getting in is not much of a problem, and let's see how much space you can get. Now in the last row of the new Honda CR-V, this is pretty much how you would look like, and as you can see, well, I'm sitting in a pretty much squatted position. I've got my knees pointing upwards, which means the under thigh support is pretty much useless for me, and my knees are again touching the seat here. In terms of backrest angle also, it's not very comfortable, so this seat primarily, as a lot of people would say, is suitable for children. But again, at express drives, I would again emphasize that children should not be seated in the last row. It's a very unsafe practice, so do not have your children sitting here. This place is at best good for maybe an adult for say 30 minutes or maybe an hour at the max. So yes, what the new CR-V gives you is the option of taking 7 people, and that's a good thing. But the last 2 people will not be here for a long time in comfort. So now let's talk about the performance of the new Honda CR-V, and the one that we are driving right now is the diesel version. Now, there have been a lot of doubts around the diesel version ever since there was news that this will be powered by a 1.6 litre diesel engine with a mere 120 horsepower output. Now, if you compare it to the competition in this segment, the Honda CR-V is the least powerful diesel SUV on sale, or probably going to be on sale, and this puts a lot of doubt in the mind of potential consumers. Now, we've driven it thoroughly over hilly roads, on traffic, on smooth highways, and I can easily tell you this: it's not an enthusiastic vehicle to drive, but it does not feel underpowered as well. So if you're opting for the diesel version, what you'll get is a vehicle that is adequately powerful, which will be able to give you a decent blend of performance in city and on highway. The drivability is a big winner for this car. The drivability is excellent in the new Honda CR-V. So that is a plus point, and that offsets the power deficit to a significant level. Now, if you talk about performance on highway, well, cruising at triple-digit speed is not an issue at all, and the vehicle does not have problem reaching up to triple-digit speeds. Overtaking on highway, if you're overtaking, say, the long trailers, that is also not going to be a problem. So the only thing is that, unlike some of the other SUVs in this segment, the Honda CR-V is not an enthusiastic vehicle to drive if I talk about the diesel version. However, there's a petrol engine on offer as well, and that is more powerful. That, however, comes paired with a CVT transmission, but more importantly, the diesel one comes with a 9-speed automatic transmission, as a result of which, as I told you, the drivability is excellent, and you also get great fuel economy. In fact, you get the best fuel efficiency in this segment, and that is the strength of a Honda CR-V when it comes to overall powertrain performance. In terms of smoothness and refinement levels, well, again, the CR-V scores high. If I have to compare it with the likes of the Ford Endeavour or the Toyota Fortuner, well, I can easily tell you that you'll not have to spend even a minute to realize that the Honda CR-V is far more smoother and far more refined in its diesel avatar. And that's a great thing, because it just adds to the comfort quotient of the cabin. In terms of handling, for a premium SUV like the CR-V, it is very important to have a car-like behavior, and that is precisely what the CR-V delivers. It handles almost like a car. There is not much body roll. You don't feel as if the entire body structure is rolling around, and that's a good thing, as a result of which you can maintain high speeds without causing any kind of discomfort to the occupants, even at the rear seat. And the ride quality is really nice. The suspension setup is so good. It just soaks in all the bumps well, and almost none of it is filtered. Especially at slow speeds, the ride quality is great. At high speeds too, the suspension does a good job of filtering out most of the bumps, and hence, if you combine all of these characteristics with the overall positioning of the CR-V, the vehicle comes out as a very strong contender in terms of a comfortable and a plush SUV. So now that we've driven the new Honda CR-V today, I can easily tell you this is a massive improvement over the last version that was sold in India, and most critically, it gets the much needed diesel engine, which puts it at par with the competition. Now, the new Honda CR-V, unlike most of its competitor, is not a rugged SUV. As I told you earlier, it's more of a premium and a stylish and a sophisticated SUV, and inside the cabin, it does a great job of giving you a wow factor. Now, in terms of technology and in terms of features, the Honda CR-V stands out really tall. But what remains to be seen is the price, because the car has not officially been launched yet, so we are still awaiting the prices. If Honda India can go ahead and price this car competitively, there's a great chance of the CR-V finally being able to do good volumes in India. So stay tuned to Express Drives for more information on the pricing of the Honda CR-V, which will be revealed soon, and we'll bring up a detailed report regarding that as well. For anything else from the world of wheels, please log on to www.expressdrives.com. Till the next time we meet again, please obey all traffic rules, wear your seatbelt and a helmet when riding a two-wheeler.